sweeping award show season and making history in the process.
Congratulations on the film.
Thank you, sir.
Amazing. It was only 23 minutes, but it made me cry like a baby.
Yes, glad to hear that.
Thank you. It was good tears. It was just really sobering. Great film. How did it originally come about?
So, last Oscars, when Troy received the Oscar, like he sort of like just opened up this story that we just had to know. John here, he had started this foundation which launched Dad Saves America, and so we were in the office kind of like where most of America was talking about Will Smith incident. We're talking about, wow, did you see that guy Troy Kotsur? And fortunately we shared the same manager, and I got tasked. I got to direct the film, and what a blessing, what an honor that was to tell that story, because it was truly an amazing story. You could see it was just beaming on stage about like how much that relationship meant to Troy, and so naturally,
Super expressive in his communication. You can just tell the man is oozing with emotion. What was it like working with Troy?
Yeah, fantastic. You said it, man. That guy has got like the volume of nuanced expression that he brings to his roles, and even to telling his own story. It just blows me away.
Any challenges during filming?
Oh yeah, always challenges. I had never made a film that's ASL for an ASL audience before, and so wow, from every step of the way, it changes things. You have to rethink all the things that you did. That you sort of took on and learned throughout your career, and so it was good. It was good expanding.
Yeah. Was that a daunting task?
I would not daunting.
Okay.
Fun. It's a new culture, right? It's like converging, and so the process, it makes it longer, and it's a learning curve.
Yeah.
So whenever you have learning, there's a little suffering involved.
For sure.
So yeah. Yeah.
So lastly, what do you hope audiences take away from the film?
I want audiences to be moved, right? To think about how important Troy's dad was in his life, right? And how, in general, right? Like, dads are important, and we shouldn't diminish dads. We should lift them up, and I think really, everybody can learn from this story in general about how to get through suffering, how to get through tragedy in their lives.
And Father's Day is right around the corner, so this is a great gift to all the dads out there. So thank you so much.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot, man.
Leave the audience wanting more is the thing we want, right? As filmmakers.
Yeah.
It was a little too long is not what you want to hear.
No, you want that sweet spot right in the middle there. Yeah. How did you get involved with the project?
Well, Troy and I share a manager, Mark Finley, and so Mark had talked to me about how amazing Troy is, and I have this show, Dad Saves America, that celebrates fatherhood and explores the different things that we do as dads to help our kids thrive in the world. And so when Troy delivered that impassioned speech at the Oscars and told in just a small moment the heartbreak and the heroism of his dad, we said, this is a story that needs to be turned into something fuller than this. And so, Mark made the connection. I pitched Troy to come down to Austin and spend some time together, and we were off to the races last summer.
So what was it like working with Troy? I know he's a very emotional, very expressive individual. That must have been an amazing experience for you guys.
Well, there's a couple things that were really amazing. The first was, and I think this was the thing about CODA, right? For most people, there's only 1 million or so deaf and hard of hearing people in the United States. So that's out of 330 million Americans. So we don't necessarily encounter deaf culture very often. And when we do, it's only in tiny snippets. So CODA gives you this chance to experience deaf culture. And we tried to embrace that with the film. And that meant, grappling with this language, ASL. And that was transformational. It changed the way we had to do the filmmaking. It informed everything about the visuals of the film, because Troy's at the centerpiece interview, but we don't want to cut away from him because he's not vocalizing his words, and we didn't want to use a voiceover for his voice. We wanted his voice, which is his hands, to be the voice.
Smart move. It would have been really cheesy otherwise. So good move on that part.
I mean, believe me, we're trying to make it good for everybody, right? So trying to do that, but also have it be stay dramatic for a hearing audience was an interesting challenge.
What was your communication like with the deaf community while filming this? Did you have support from them? Were they? How was that relationship?
Well, Troy's a rock star, right? When it comes to the deaf community, I mean, he's an unbelievable figure.
Right.
And we're in Austin, Texas, which has a truly remarkable school for the deaf. It's actually one of the largest in the country. So when Troy came down last summer, we actually partnered with the Texas School for the Deaf. So after we filmed with him, he taught a class for some of the deaf theater kids at the school, and then all of the actors that play Troy in our film are deaf.
Wow. Okay.
And so we tried to honor that reality throughout the entire process, and it gave us an unbelievable immersion in it.
Right. So Coda, it definitely opened doors for deaf people. This film is no different. How do you feel about the future of art affecting life?
Well, I like to say that there's sort of three ways we learn how to do anything in this world. We learn through direct experience, right? You go out there, you try, you fail, you succeed. You learn by your parents or your friends or the people around you, and then you learn through the stories we tell. And that's what art is fundamentally about. It's about exploring the human condition. Right. And so I think art and life are deeply connected and always have been, and they continue to evolve together.
Hello, how are you?
Congratulations on all your successes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for everything you've done. The Coda is amazing, obviously. A great family story, and we get more of that in To My Father, which is also great. So, what was it like bringing your story to the big screen?
Well, I feel that deep inside, I was telling myself that I wanted everyone to know that I wasn't alone. And it wasn't only me and my family that was struggling, because every family has their own personal struggles. And people that think they're alone are really not alone. So I'm here to share this story and be vulnerable and show the experiences that I went through and tell everyone that, look at me. I'm okay. I'm doing fine. This documentary really shows that the father, it's so important for dads to be involved in their kids' lives and do whatever they need to be successful. And so whatever you go through, love can overcome any barrier.
I totally agree. My father and I, we don't always see eye to eye, which is frustrating. But there is a strong connection. There is always going to be love, no matter what, no matter all the arguments and disagreements. We'll always be father and son, and this film reflects that relationship, that love, and that power of love.
I agree with what you're saying. When you mention arguments, when you look at that, really it's care. And it's nice to hear a different perspective. There's always different sides to every story, and you can make the best decision and the best choices after those arguments, right? So, you know what I mean.
Of course.
I know what it feels like to be a father now. I have a daughter, and I know it's hard for dads. You think you know what's best, but sometimes you have to let go and let your kids decide, and just do what's best for your kid, and that makes you become a better father too. And it is really challenging. It's a challenging role. And now looking back at everything my father did and everything he went through for me, now I'm able to share that story with an audience. And it's funny because my daughter graduated high school a month ago. And now I'm feeling a bit torn. It's really hard to let go of, and I'm not quite ready yet. I only have one child, so she's my only baby girl. And I'm the daddy. She's the daddy's girl.
No more kids. You don't want any more heartache. No.
Look on the positive side. I have more time to be involved in different productions and different projects. So life is short, so I'm ready to roll up my sleeves. I'm trying my best, and I'm really happy for my daughter to go off to college, because I'm sure maybe you've experienced when you went to college, maybe you had to let go of your mom and dad, so you probably feel me.
Yeah, I hear you, man. What's next for you? Any big film projects? Any theater coming up?
An episode of Bear Grylls Running Wild I participated in as a guest, and it's coming out July 30th.
Okay.
In a couple months, so that was really fun. I did an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm with Larry David. That'll be out this fall. And they're coming up on their 14th and last season, I believe.
That's awesome.
And I'm also involved in an independent film called In Cold Light.
Nice.
And I'm going to play a rodeo cowboy.
I love
it. It's in Canada, and so I'm really excited for that. And after my daughter has graduated, now I'm starting to shift my focus and roll up my sleeves and get back to work.
That's awesome. And we need more good work from you, because you are incredible. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.